My dear people of God, we are on the last Sunday of the liturgical year C, and this Sunday is celebrated as the solemnity of Christ the King. We pronounce, we declare that Christ is the King of everything that we do, of everything that we undertake, even our whole liturgical year. This feast or solemnity was introduced by Pope Pius XI in the year 1925 to remind all the Catholics and generally to the whole world that Jesus is the Lord of the universe, both as man and as God. The first reading speaks about David being anointed as the king of whole of Israel, not only a few tribes, but of all the tribes of Israel. But why David is mentioned today? It is because David was the greatest king of Israel, and to remind us that another king would be born in the royal lineage of King David. And that king would be the Messiah king and much greater than King David. In the history of the Jews, they had always been under foreign powers most of their life. It was only during the time of David and King Solomon that they enjoyed some freedom. That was their golden period. Otherwise, most of the time in their history, they had been under the yoke of foreign powers. They were in exile in Egypt, in Assyria later, and then in Babylon. And they never had a king. And therefore, the Jews longed for this Messiah, the king. For them, for the Jews, Messiah was a sign of power who would destroy all other powers, all other rulers, all other kings. And especially at this moment, in the first century, that he would destroy the Romans. But when the Messiah came, when Jesus came, his idea of kingship was totally different. He was not a conqueror king in a sense of the world, how world understands a king, a man of power, of domination, a man of wars who shed blood. When this Messiah came, the Jews did not accept him. They refused to accept to be their king, to be the king of the Jews, because he gave himself up into the hands of the Romans and died being crucified on the cross, a sign not of power but of weakness. So this cannot be the Messiah. And therefore, Saint Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verses 18 to 25, he says, what you see as divine weakness on the cross is stronger than any human power. And in the second reading of today, Saint Paul speaks about the supremacy of Jesus Christ. He says, all authority and rulers and power are under Jesus Christ. Everything is subject to him because he is the Messiah King. He is the image of the invisible God. And in today's gospel, we see some people mocking at Jesus when he was dying on the cross, and an inscription put above him, the King of the Jews. Yes, that's it. He is the King of the Jews. Fortunately, Pilate confessed that Jesus was really a king. But the Jews were not happy. They wanted that inscription to be changed. They went and told Pilate, do not write, he is the King of the Jews, but write that he said that he is the King of the Jews. And Pilate rejected. He said, what is written is written. It's actually the confession of Pilate that Jesus is truly a king, the King of the Jews. Although he failed to be fair with Jesus because of external pressure. My dear people of God, Jesus is not only the King of the Jews, but of the whole world. We see in the Gospels, the evangelists speak about the kingdom of God, kingdom of heaven. If there is kingdom, there must be a king. And who is that king? Our Lord Jesus Christ. But his kingship is not about domination, about overpowering another enemy, destroying and killing, and to prove that he is the most powerful king on this earth. No, his kingship is of service and of love. His kingship represents one that annihilates hatred and evil. My dear people of God, and therefore today, we all are invited to be a part of the reign of this King, Jesus Christ. And when we submit to his reign, he will take care of us. Because a true king always takes care of his people, protects them, fights for them, and even gives his life for them. That is the kind of king we have in Jesus Christ. Let's submit ourselves to him. I wish you happy feast of Christ the King, and may the blessings of Christ the King come upon you and your families